Yo, yo, YouTube, what's going on? I just got back from The Batman. I just wanted to do a kind of like character review of the movie. I'm not going to do a full entire spoiler plot reveal, probably not until later. So I just wanted to go over maybe my favorite part of this whole movie, the characters. Gotham City, it was the best I've ever seen it portrayed in a movie. It was like that over-the-top, flashy, Times Square, New York-ish feel in one scene, and then that low-down, like dingy, neglected look in the next. It wasn't all just alleys and bridges. I like the clubs, the Penguin connotations for all the clubs. It was like the Iceberg Lounge and 44 Below, which was the club within the club. I know those aren't characters, but Gotham plays a character in this movie. So now to the characters. I think it was the best cast Batman movie of all time. Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Colin Farrell, John Turturro, Robert Pattinson, Andy Serkis, Jeffrey Wright. Perfect. We're all aware of all these characters. Commissioner Gordon, the Penguin, Catwoman, Batman, Alfred. Everybody knows who they are. So this movie, it just shows us what they're up to at this point in time. And at this point in time, Batman is like been doing Batman stuff for 2 years now. And him and Jim Gordon have had like a relationship for 2 years. Some sort of unofficial relationship because half of the police force is corrupt. I love how Penguin is attached to, but not directly, the crime Batman's investigating. So you get tiny little servings of him. And every scene that the Penguin is in, that Colin Farrell playing the Penguin is in, he steals the scene. It's not even close. And I get why we're getting a TV show about that character, because he's standing in a power vacuum by the end of this movie. Not to spoil anything, but I mean, there is much more for Penguin to come, you can tell. Paul Dano's Riddler is a question mark for me. No pun intended. But while he was a creepy serial killer, Zodiac 7, Jigsaw vibes, I wanted to see more of his face. Dano is such a great actor, and the best scene from him in this movie is when his mask isn't on the face and he's talking to Batman. John Turturro, for an actor who usually plays like not the protagonist, but a good guy or like a comedy relief, he was fucking scary. He was scary, and he was the scary where he's all calm and, charming, but at any minute, Carmine Falcone is going to have to cut a bitch or punch a bitch in the eye or chop her head off. He was just amazing. Jeff's kiss. Pattinson's Batman was as unique a take on Batman to date. The exploration of his psyche. Pattinson wasn't exaggerating when he said, Batman is like a messed up guy. And they don't shy away from that. And I mean, who wouldn't be messed up after he's gone through what he's been through? You know what I mean? Watching your two parents killed. But they don't shy away from that at all. And it grounds the shit out of this Batman. Like, he's not like just flawless. Like, there's parts where he beats the shit out of guys, but there's times in the fight where you're like, is he gonna like lose the upper hand? And the costume was just as realistic as they've ever made it. The father-son relationship between Alfred and Batman, instead of that like cool uncle relationship, is, I think, the best part of the relationship between Serkis's Alfred and Pattinson's Batman. So instead of like, clever quips mixed in with fatherly advice, it's fucking straight terror that a father has when he knows his child's in danger and he's trying to guide him. Serkis just nailed that. And that brings me to the star of the movie, who I believe could be the star of this franchise as long as they don't make her the star of the franchise. Zoe Kravitz. She was the best written Catwoman, the best performed Catwoman, the best character development, and the best costume for Catwoman. When she goes from Selina Kyle inside her apartment as Bruce is watching her through the window, She goes from Selina, changes into her Catwoman costume, and climbs out the window. It was like I was watching like Alfred Hitchcock Rear Window kind of stuff, like Tim Burton, watching Catwoman become Catwoman in the window, like you do in the Tim Burton movie, like Michelle Pfeiffer. It was just, there were so many homages in this, I just couldn't keep track of them. Again, this is just a character study. But the trade-off of favors to work together for a shared interest, but always have your own need first with Batman and Catwoman is exactly what I was hoping they would do, or that someone would do in a movie, because I think the relationship is so cool. You know, it's like, in another world, we'd be perfect for each other, but not this one. And they try, and they do it with beauty, and it feels like they're doing their relationship as a focus over this trilogy. Anyway, guys, that is my character rundown for the Batman. My favorite part of this movie are these characters. The actors who played them just destroyed it. I'd love to get into the score. I'd love to get into the plot, the twists, the spin-offs that are coming. And we'll probably get to that later on the channel. We'll do special videos. Just this movie, there's so much about this movie that I want to talk about that I haven't even mentioned in this video yet. So I just wanted to do the characters. I just saw the movie an hour ago. If you guys have seen it, let me know what you think. If you haven't, or you're going to go see it this weekend, I definitely 100,000% recommend seeing this movie. It makes the other Batman movies look kind of silly. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't tell your grandparents. I'll see you next week. I gotta go.